So in the interest of getting you guys using these as soon as possible, you have likely seen that a document camera has been dropped off in your room, and we're gonna have you guys unpack them and assemble them yourself. Don't worry, it's very easy. I'm gonna show you how. So this is the IPEVO VZ-R. When you open the box, you're gonna see that it has a weighted base inside. Take your weighted base. There's an included screwdriver right here. You're going to take the screws that are included, take 2 of those screws. You're going to have your cable here. Your document camera is at the bottom. All you do is take your document camera. If you look at the bottom, there's 2 screw holes and then 2 alignment pins. The pins line up with these holes. When you have it properly aligned, you can see the screw holes right through the holes in the base. That's when you just take your 2 screws, pop them in, take your screwdriver, and tighten them. They should be easy to tighten. If you're having a really hard time, probably just means you're not in the holes. They don't need to be super tight, just tight enough that the IPEVO doesn't wobble on top of the base. A couple turns and you're all done. So that's all there is to it. Your IPEVO VZ-R is assembled and ready to use. Just flip it up. The camera can be rotated like so, or up to face you. Pretty decent range of motion. Now that your IPEVO VZ-R is assembled, I'm going to just show you how to plug it into your computer. Super easy. In the back of the IPEVO VZ-R, you'll see there's a USB-C port. It's a small round connector in the back. Inside your box, you will have a USB-C to USB-A cable. So one side looks like this, and the other is a normal USB end. The small rounded end will plug into the back of the VZ-R in the USB-C port. The other side of the cable is going to plug into any open USB ports in your computer. They can either plug into the back, or they can be plugged right into the front. If you're using the IPEVO VZ-R with a Chromebook, the process is exactly the same. You take the USB-A side of your cable, plug it right into one of the USB ports on the left side, or one of the USB ports on the right side of your Chromebook. Once your IPEVO VZ-R is connected, you want to make sure it's in the on position. If you go to join a meet or run Visualizer and you don't see your camera, it's probably because it's turned off. The power switch, when it's in the up position, is off. When it's in the down position, it's on. You'll see that there's a green power light at the top of the unit that will indicate that it is on. Now that our IPEVO is plugged in and turned on, I'm going to show you guys how to use it on a Windows PC, like your classroom desktop. Since we're on a classroom desktop, you'll see the second we start Google Meet, if your IPEVO VZ-R is plugged in and turned on, it'll show up as the only camera, and it'll also be your microphone automatically, so no need to change those settings. If you go to use your camera and you see that your local view of yourself is mirrored, that is normal. The left-right mirror is turned on by default in all video chat software, so that way your camera isn't showing you what the camera sees. It operates like a mirror. If it wasn't mirrored like that, you'd move your hand to the right and it would appear to go the opposite direction for you. We have an extension for this, since people are going to want to see what their document camera is seeing left, right, reversed. It's called Video Mirror, and it should already be installed on your computer. If you don't see a video mirror icon here, it could be hidden in your extra extensions. You click on the puzzle piece and then make sure that it's pinned. If you don't see it as an option, you can either install it from the Chrome Store yourself. It's called Video Mirror, or if you just wait, it should be pushed out to you automatically if you're a high school teacher. So if we want to mirror that, we just click the Video Mirror icon and you'll see it automatically flip. When your IPEVO is turned on and connected to your Chromebook, you can then start a Google Meet. When you first start your Google Meet on a Chromebook, you're going to see yourself coming out of your webcam. To change the camera you're using before you start your Meet, click More Options, then click Settings. You'll see under Audio and Video. For audio, our camera is already our IPEVO, and for video, select it as front camera. If you use front camera, it's your front camera on your device, and it's going to be looking right at you. If you click that box and then click the IPEVO VZ-R in the dropdown, you'll see immediately the camera switch to the IPEVO. You can do this during the Google Meet to switch back and forth, or you can, if you're on a Chromebook, or if you're on PC, obviously, you would just be using your IPEVO for everything. From then on out, it's just a normal VZ-R operation, which would be exactly the same on Chromebook or PC. So we're going to go over that now. So next we're going to go over what the physical buttons on the IPEVO VZ-R do. Top button is just your light, turns your IPEVO VZ-R light on and off. So the next button you may not find useful all the time, but the filter button allows you to go through preset color calibrations like monochrome, red, blue, etc. that may be useful while trying to project something that's not like a traditional book, but maybe a specific image or transparency. If you keep clicking through filter, you'll eventually go back to normal mode. And if you skip it, you can just keep hitting the button until you come back around to normal mode. Rotate just rotates your image vertically 180 degrees. This is useful if you've just re-aimed your camera and you find that it's perfectly aligned but the image is flipped. If you just press rotate, it will flip it vertically. Zoom in and out do exactly what they say. They'll zoom your image in and out. Exposure plus and exposure minus bring the exposure of the image up or down. Exposure is brightness, pretty much. A piece of software that's extremely useful for creating content or presenting in person, but may not specifically more useful during a pandemic, is IPEVO Visualizer. What you keep in mind with IPEVO Visualizer is if you have a Google Meet open, you want Visualizer closed. Same with if you want to use Visualizer, you want to make sure the Google Meet is closed. If you open the Start menu and scroll down, you'll see IPEVO. In the IPEVO folder, you'll see Visualizer. Now that we're in IPEVO Visualizer, you'll see that the same controls that are available on the camera are there on the side panel here. You have the ability to rotate, change your resolution, change your exposure, change your white balance, change your focus manually, and to run through the filters we talked about earlier. Also available are the ability to record video, take stills, slow motion video, time lapse, and do live broadcast. Yeah, if you're doing work locally in your classroom and you're not doing any online broadcasting, Visualizer is probably the way to go. I assume for the immediate future, the IPEVOs will be used mostly with Google Meet. But if you have a few minutes and you feel like playing with it, or you're going to use IPEVO to make pre-made content like videos that you're going to put on your Google Classroom via YouTube, I recommend using Visualizer to record those. When you're all done with Visualizer, make sure you close it completely. Like I was saying before, if Visualizer is running in the background and you start a Google Meet, the camera won't be available. If you have any problems with your IPEVO not showing up, make sure it's plugged into your USB port, turned on, and if you still don't see your camera available, give your computer a reboot. All right, if you have any other questions, let us know.